Okay, thank you for joining the second session. Let me start. One company we created last time, we will be proceeding from that point. So let's start creating vendor first. So we go to account payable, all vendors. It's a remote system and it's responding slow. So I'm sorry for that. So you have to be patient for this. Okay, press new. Right. The vendor account number is auto-generated. The type of this vendor could be organization or it could be a person. So we keeping the default name. We can give anything. Let's say vendor one. You see this group field is in a red rectangle. That means it's a mandatory field. So we have to fill this. So there is no vendor group already there in the system, so we have to create it. So let's see that. So there is no value. So if you have to create some value right then and there is one way. You go to this arrow, right click from your mouse, view details. You press this. So it's a vendor group. Let's say we call it domestic. Another thing, hey, you don't see anything in red rectangle, so no field is mandatory. But we add one value, so this is the terms of payment. So there is no terms of payment, so we create one. So we follow the same process. View details. Okay, so we press new. Let's create like after 30 days or 10 days, whatever you like. So N30, net 30 days. There are different payment methods. Let's see those. One is net, and the others like current month, current quarter, current year, and some other. So this is another assignment for today. You have to explore the meaning of all these. So if you choose current month, what will be the change? So the most commonly used method is net. So I'm using that. So we will discuss in the next session. So I'm taking 30 days. Okay. You can also attach a payment schedule here. You can also attach the payment day. So we will talk these later. So let's save it. So if you need to go back, you just press escape, so it will go one step back. So press here. We have one payment terms, net 30. You save it. Press escape again. You will be back one step. Okay. So let's see. We have so we have the group here, domestic. Okay. So what's the objective of having the group? So in a group, we define the terms of payment. So if you once you attach a group, the payment terms of payment will be defaulted here. So group is being used to default the terms of payment and some other things. So as we proceed, we will be able to understand, appreciate the concept of assigning a group to the vendor. So just save it. So we have a vendor. So we created a vendor group. We created the vendor. We created the terms of payment. Schedule and payment terms, you try to create it. We will do next time or sometime if we got some time. So let's create one customer now. So the one thing you have to remember, like which fields are mandatory while you create a vendor or customer or some other object. So those might be questions in your exam. So you have to focus and you have to remember those fields. So we go to receivable. So here, like in the setup, you have a vendor group, which will be mandatory for the creation of customer. So we click here, customer group. So you can ask any question while the system is trying to fetch some form or some data. Okay, press new. Domestic customers. So let's click here. So we created one terms of payment. So once you create payment terms, that's a shared object which might be used for accounts payable or for accounts receivable. So I'm using the same. So these two fields are also important, 3 fields. You have to remember there is always one question, like when you create a customer group, so how many fields you have and which fields do you have? So you look into these. We will talk about as we keep moving. So let's go to customer now. So I haven't pressed the save button, so it's auto saved. I'm sorry it's taking a while. I will try to have a local VM working maybe next time. So in a business scenario, so the important objects are vendors, customer, product. So it's came. So let's click new. Okay. So the same like your customer may be organization or maybe a person. So we keep the default. Let's pick some name, customer one. So it's checking in the global address book. So if a customer is already, this name is already, or this object is already there in the system created as a vendor or some other object. So those will be shown in this pop-up. So you can pick that. So the addresses and the other things will be reused. So it's a wide like recreating the same object again and again. So this is the feature we have in Dynamics. So name, group we already created, domestic. Currency, it's a PKR, it's coming from the legal entity. Terms of payment is coming from the customer group. Country, region. So other information you can give or it's okay because the only mandatory thing is the customer group. What's the other mandatory thing? This is the type. Type is also mandatory because you have to keep one. So it could be either organization or a person. So you can't create a customer without having a type. And the other is like the customer account and the customer name. All these are mandatory. So just click save. So we created one customer, we created one vendor. Let's create a product now. And then we will purchase that item and we try to sell it. So that's the common business scenario. So in any business in the world, any type of business, in most of the situations, you need customers, you need vendors, and you need products to sell, and you need cash and bank management. So you're paying your vendors through the check using a bank, or your customers might be paying through credit card or maybe check or maybe wire transfer. So as we proceed, we learn to explore more payment methods and how we can implement those. Okay, so in order to define the product, you have to go to product information management. Click here. Okay, so here you see in a product all products and product master, and then the separate, like in this you have only products, here you have only product masters. So let's go with this. So we see what it's doing. You can create your product and product masters for all of your legal entities. So these are shared objects, and then you can adopt these products for specific legal entities. So how we can do that? So we will see the complete process here. So you see, like, there are a lot of products which are already being created in other legal entities are also being shown here. Let's create a new one. But if you want to see, like, is there any product which is specific to your legal entity, how you can find that? Let's see that. Go to product information management. You have to click to this released products. So released products are those products which are specific to your legal entity. Click here. So while it's coming, we can press new. Okay, so new product. So product type could be item or it could be a service. So item, it's something stockable, so you have to use the item. So let's use it. Product subtype, it could be product or a product master. So let's click on this product master. So if you click on product master, you will see, like, there is another product variants, like the product dimension group is, this field is being added. So this product dimension group, what we mean by this? So let's click here, click view details. Okay, and let's go to the second tab. So release product. So there is no product which is being released to this legal entity. Okay, product dimension group. So product dimension group is like, you're going to assign 4 type of dimensions to your product. So your product might be having different colors, your product might be having different sizes, and that might be with different styles, or you're having a different configuration for the same product. So you can assign any one of these 4. Let's create a new group. Let's say MAI size color. Press save. Okay, so we can uncheck this configuration. We have to select this size and color. Okay, the other thing is like for purchase prices. So this select this option if you want to include the dimension as a criterion to determine the purchase price for an item. So what this means? This means like you have a same product with different sizes and different colors. Do you want like if a product is in black or it's a product in white, the price may be different when you going to purchase it or when you're going to sell it. So if you want to have these discriminations, you have to check these for purchase prices and for sales prices. And how we implement this, we see that later. So you press save. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Like there is it's giving me some weird error. So it's not to save it. Okay. Go to product information management. Go to dimension and variant groups. So click here. So here you see the product dimension group. So click here. So we will be at the same place. So here there are already created groups. So color and size, which we trying to create. Color and size. Okay. We will use that. Color and size. Give some name. Let's say it's a shirt. Okay. Okay, that's one way. The other way is you go to product information management and you click this release product straight away. Or go to product master. Here you see a lot of your products. So let's find the shirt, apply. Maybe there was some system, the product was not created. Size, color. shirt, okay. And then you have to release this product. Okay, before doing that, let's see like the product dimensions. We assign a product dimension group which was having the size and color. So let's add some sizes. So you click new. So you don't see, okay, you have sizes. So sizes are already being created at one place, like here this sizes, product dimensions and variant group sizes. You can create sizes here. Those sizes will be available for all of your products, and you can also create colors. So those colors are being available for all of your products irrespective of your legal entity. So let's use large. Okay, create one more. Let's say small. Let's go to color. Use black. Let's take one more. White. Okay, so you have two sizes and two colors. So in large you might have white and black. So you two variants, and with small you can also produce white or black shirt. So in all you may have four possible combinations. So 2 into 2, four possible combinations of your variants, or you can say it's SKU. Okay, if you click at product variants, you can click here new and choose the combinations, different combinations, like and which size you want, which color. Okay, so that's one thing. The other is you click here variant suggestions. All the four possibilities will be shown to you. Yeah, you press this, select all, and say create. Okay, then you press this release products. The system will say like you want this product to be released for which legal entity. So this is the product name. Next, do you want to include or release all of your variants? Yes. Which legal company? We choose this MAI. Next, it will show you the summary, like selected products 5, company is 1, finish. Okay, so the operation is being completed. So let's go to product information management and then click release products. Now you see like your product is being shown here. If you click the release product variants, you will see all of your 4 product variants. Basically, you are selling or purchasing the product variants. The product may be with the large size and with black or white color and the other combinations. Okay, there is one button like validate. Let's validate it. So it will be saying like which other fields you have to maintain. So it's saying like for product shirt MAI, values need to be specified for the field. So the one is item model group, the other is item group, storage dimension group, tracking dimension group, sales unit, inventory unit. So these are the mandatory fields and you have to remember all these fields for the exam purposes and for validation of the product. If a product is not being fully validated, you cannot do the transaction for that product. Means you can't sell it, you can't purchase it. So we have to create all these values. Okay. So let me summarize. So whenever you're going to create a master product, so for a master product, the product dimension group is mandatory. So that's required. And for product dimension group, you're going to specify four dimensions like the size, color, style, and configuration. Okay, and then to fully specify your product, you have to define the item model group, the item group, the storage dimension groups, where you're going to store it, and how you track it, and the units in which you're going to sell or purchase or to store. So all these fields are mandatory. So let's do it. Let me duplicate it. Okay, let's click on this product, click edit. Okay, you see like the item model group. Click here. You don't have any item model group. Okay, so one possibility which we seen, like you click here and you click view details. Let's follow the same method. Click new. Here basically you're defining the costing method and the inventory policies. So I'm keeping the default. I'm saying the moving average. There are different inventory methods. So that's another task for you to explore each and every method. So you have to understand if when you're going to use FIFO, FIFO or LIFO or weighted average, how your inventory is being evaluated and how you is the standard cost. So right now I'm picking the moving average. I'm keeping everything default. Saving it, going back. So we have item model group. So we pick. Okay. So you click validate. So it's saying now you have to define the item group. Okay, so how you find like where that item group is being placed on this form? So the quick way is you click on this journal or any other fast tab. So you right click here and you say expand all. So you will see like all the tabs will be expanded. Okay. So you press Control F and type item group. So you see like this is there are some objects. So you see like a supplementary item. You click next. You click next, next. Yeah. So you found it. So in manage cost, you see like there is the item group. So let's create one. View details. So if you know how to navigate, how to move forward, the system will be guiding you. New. Let's say finish quotes. You save it. Okay. So here you have to assign main accounts. There are multiple account types. So we will be coming back to this screen later. We're going back. You can assign the item group. No. Okay. So let's find the storage dimension now. You click here. So this is the storage dimension group. Okay. So these are disabled. So you can't assign the values from this part of the form. Okay. So where you can do that, because these are mandatory fields. So if you go to this setup dimension groups, you click here. Okay, storage dimension group. So these are also shared objects. So I let you know from where you can create these objects. The one is you right click and view details. So that's the one possibility you can create, or you can go to the product information management and then from there you can create it. Okay. So I'm saying like for the storage dimension, I will be using the site and warehouse. So this information you have to provide. So site is a highest level. So you might say like it's a province or it's a country if you're doing a business in multiple countries. So site could be your country, warehouse maybe your different cities you having warehouses, or in one city maybe you having multiple warehouses. So we saying like we will be storing the products in different sites with multiple warehouses. So tracking dimension, it's mandatory. So do you want to track your products with batch or serial number? So we're saying like we're not going to track it, so we choose none. We click OK. You will see the values will be populated on these fields. I'm sorry for the slowness of the system. I will try to get some good system, or I will try to up my local VM. Okay, let's try to validate it. Okay, so which fields? Sales unit, inventory unit we have to specify. Okay, let's go to any of the tab. You say collapse. Okay, you go to purchase, assign a unit. So it's a shirt, so I'm saying I will be selling it in inches. You can assign some price to this shirt. So I will be buying at, let's say, 500 rupees. You go to sell. I'm assigning unit each, and I'm selling it for 600 rupees. Okay. Go to inventory. So inventory, I'm saying I will be maintaining it in the inventory in H's, the same unit. Okay. Save it. Validate it. So the system is saying all field values required for validation are specified product shirt MAI. Okay. So you can do sale and purchase in this product now. So we completed filling all the required fields for this product. Okay. Okay, let's try to purchase it. Now, before doing this purchase, you have to do some settings. So we go to account payable. This is the module where you have vendors, purchase orders, and the other stuff related with your vendors. So let's go to vendor posting profile. So vendor posting profile is the place where you hook up your vendor's subledger with your journal ledger. So let's click here, vendor posting profile. So in your journal ledger, you will be having accounts payable. So the total of all of your payables to your vendors. So that will be in your journal ledger. Whereas in account payables, you having your vendors and how much you have to pay to your individual vendors, that will be shown here. So in a balance sheet, you're not going to show like to whom you have to pay how much. So just have to give just one summary figure. So where we do that, so that's the vendor posting profile. So we click here, new. And you can do this with vendor groups. So you might have like different vendor group, maybe domestic sales, maybe international sales or purchases, and you can define the vendor or customer posting profile based on those groups. So on those groups, the summary balance will be available. Domestic purchases, you save it. You click add. Okay. Here you have in the account code, you have three options. Table. So if you pick table, then if you click at the, you will see the individual vendor. If you use a table, that's the lowest level. If you click group, the vendor group will be shown to you. We created just one vendor group, domestic. If you click all, you will see it's gray dot. So it's applicable to all of your vendors. So right now I'm using my group, domestic, and I'm assigning like all of my transactions specific to vendors in this group. Balances will be added to which summary account. So here I have to specify. Let's click here and say accounts payable. Okay, so you see like here there is a account payable. So I'm clicking here and I'm saving it. So another assignment for you to explore the other fields which are not required for me to populate right now. So I'm going back. So we learned like what's the purpose of vendor posting profile. There is another setting. So you have to go to account payable parameters. Okay. So here we make few changes. Product receipt. So this means like product post product receipt in ledger. So when you're receiving the goods from your vendors, do you want to post those receipts in your ledgers? So definitely yes, we're going to do that. So that's one setting you have to do here. And the other is like if you go to ledger and sales tax, you have to pick the posting profile which we created, domestic. Okay, that's it. So in accounts payable, you have to make these two changes. The one is you want to post your product receipts in ledger, and the other is you have to assign the posting profile. Okay, save it. Let's repeat the same with your customers. So you go to account receivable, customer posting profile. So we will be continuing about 28 more minutes. So we will close by 8. I hope that's okay with everybody. But if you have some urgent work to do, you can drop off and you can watch the recording later on. I will upload it. Okay. Domestic customers, you click add. So again, you have three possibilities. So I'm going with group. Group we created, domestic customers. So here you have to pick the summary account. Let's pick it. Let's say star. Account receivable domestic. So you have many accounts. So I'm using this one. So you have to explore the other fields. Maybe we talk about once the need arises. Okay, you go back. You go to account receivable parameters. I'm sorry for the slowness of the system. Okay. So in journal, you see like sales default values. The order type, there are multiple order types. So one is journal, subscription, sales order, return order, item requirements. As we proceed, so we will be able to learn what different order types means and how we use each one of them. So right now I'm going to use the sales order. So this will be defaulted. Okay, go to updates. So there is one setting like picking list, picking route status. So I'm saying it's completed. So as we move, we will learn why I did this. Go to ledger and sales tax. Here we pick the posting profile, which we just created. You save it. Okay. Now you go to like here we set the order type, sales order, but we never did like in the account payable, like what's the purchase order default value. So for that, you have to go to procurement and sourcing, go to parameters, so far what we did, we created customer, we created one vendors, and for these we have to create the customer and vendor groups. Okay, so here you see like in journal the default value is journal. So there are multiple purchase order types, the journal, purchase order and return order. So I want this purchase order should be defaulted, so I did it. Okay, and then we created the customer posting profile and the vendor posting profile. These are being used to integrate the sub-ledger with your general ledger. And we assign these posting profiles using the account payable parameters and account receivable parameters. Okay, so that's a high level configuration you have to do, which we did. So we have a vendor, we have a customer, we have a product. So it seems like we have everything to do the transaction. Means you can buy the product now. So let's try it, and then we will see if there is some problem, the system will guide us what's missing. Let's do it. So I'm going to this purchase order. It's taking a while. If you have any question, you unmute yourself, you can say it while the system is doing some processing. I think half of our time is being wasted in just waiting while the system was doing some processing. Okay, it's back. So we're going to create, there is no purchase order already in this legal entity. So it's a brand new company. So let's purchase something. We click new. It seems like we have everything. Okay. So you have to pick the vendor. So let's say, click here. We already created one. If you don't have the vendor, or if you want to pick some other vendor, or you want to create new vendor, so you can right click and go to view details and create it. So you can navigate from one object to another object. Someone unmuted. Do you have any question?
जी सर मेरा क्वेश्चन था
Yes, please.
सर सर आइटम नंबर और प्रोडक्ट नंबर में मेन डिफरेंस क्या होता है
Okay, we
व्हाट
see
इज द
that.
डिफरेंस बिटवीन आइटम नंबर एंड प्रोडक्ट नंबर
Yeah, we see that. So that's the difference, like when you're creating a master product and when you're creating releasing it. So that's the difference. So I show you where we see that. Okay. Okay. So when you release it, it becomes the item number. Before that, that's a product. Click OK. And for the storage dimension, as we mentioned before, we will be specifying the site and warehouse. So you seen these two fields here. These are mandatory. You have to fill. So you're procuring, and after procuring, where you going to place those shirts and the other products which you're going to procure. And we haven't created the size and warehouse for this legal entity. These objects are not shared, and definitely they shouldn't be. So you have to create these objects for each legal entity. So I'll let you know from where you can create. The easiest way is you right click and view details and just create the value and just use it then and there. So basically in just 30-40 minutes you can set up a legal entity, and then you can within 30-40 minutes you can set up your vendors, the customers, and the other configuration, and you can start doing your sale and purchase. So for a small company, you can set up 3-4 hours are enough to set up and then start doing the business. Okay, so let's click edit. You have to pick the item number. So item is once you have a product number, so once you release it, it becomes the item number. Okay, so we have it. So it's showing this is the item number, the search name, the item group, and the default order type. It's a purchase order. This we set in. Okay, so this vendor is not authorized for this shirt. So okay, how we can set this up? So let's do this. If you go to your product, you click here, click purchase, click edit. Okay, so here there is the option approved vendor check method. So you can say there is a no check, the warning or not allowed. So I'm saying no check. So there is this one. Okay, because this is a system, everybody is using it and doing the development. So maybe some messages, weird messages are being shown, so you can ignore those. Okay, this is one way. What's the other? You go to inventory management and you go to inventory. You have the item model group. An item group you can define from here by this using this navigation. Let's go to item model group. So no, inventory item model group. Edit it. So here you can say approved vendor check method. It's warning only. You can say no check. So this item model group is being assigned to each and every product. So that's the mandatory thing. So if you say no check, So no check is being done with all of your vendors and with all of your products. So this is the higher level setup. Okay, let's go back. You click here. Now you click save. The message will not be shown. Okay. The unit is being shown each, which we set up with the product. It's doing some processing. I don't know what. Do you anticipate or you have some idea like we will be able to create this purchase order? There will be some issues. The system is saying site must be filled. So let's go to site. Site is not being shown here. Okay, go to this purchase order line and you see like display dimensions. So you click here. So you click this site and warehouse. So this is the important screen. So in a product dimension, you have 4 components like the size, color, style, configuration, as we shown before. But in this product, you just have to assign size and color. So your storage dimension have 5 components: size, warehouse, location, license plate, inventory status. So we just using the site and warehouse. We will learn as we move forward. So what's the meaning of the other and how we can configure and use these. Tracking dimensions, you have you can track your products using serial number or the batch number or the owner. So I'm using none for the tracking dimension. So you click OK, and you can set this save setup. So whenever you create a purchase order, you add a line. So site and warehouse will be shown. So you click OK. Now you see like this site. So you click here, you will not be able to see any site, I guess. Yeah. So you click view details. Let's create a site. Okay, new. Let's say site one, site one. You save it. You can assign address and the other information. If you go to the warehouse, there is no hierarchy. So you save it. There is no hierarchy so far. Go back. You have a site. Okay. So there is no warehouse. That's it. Yeah. So let's create it. View details. New. Let's say warehouse one. So the mandatory field is site. So this warehouse is associated with which site? So I'm picking this site 1. So it will show you the hierarchy as well if you click here. So you see like this site has this warehouse. Can multiple warehouses be associated with one site? That's one question. You have to think about this. Okay. Can one warehouse have multiple sites? Okay, good, great. Okay, we're going back. Okay, price is coming. So we added this price while we defining the product. So that price is coming from there. Okay, save it. Color must be filled in, but we don't see the color here. So again, you have to go to the product line, dimensions. You have to pick the color and size. So size is, it will be like small or large as we defined. Color were white and black. Let's pick the black one. Okay, let's save it. On pressing this save button, the system is doing some basic or preliminary validation. So if there are some issues, so those will be highlighted. Those will be shown as a info log. It's doing some processing. I don't know what, but just the slowness of the system. I don't know. The system is getting slow, or we people getting fast. That's another important question. I seen a lot of people complaining about the slowness of the system. Like when you're doing some transaction in a bank, or you're visiting some doctor, or you're doing some other thing. The people were saying like the system is not responding fast enough. So I request everybody, you create one legal entity and try to follow the steps which we all doing together. So that will give you more clarity and hands-on experience. If you have any question, you can say during the sessions, maybe in the next session, or you can send me an email, or you can reach me out using Skype. So don't hesitate. So I'm available. So that's not a problem. And if you don't have access to Dynamics 365, you can do all these configuration and all these setups in Dynamics 2012 R3. So both they're just the change of interface, otherwise, or the framework or the architecture. Okay, I don't know why this message is coming. Okay, so we have a purchase order. So you can see the total from here. Next time I will show you how we can use this copy functionality. So if you have to create one vendor from, okay, so this gives you some quick information, like you're going to buy like one item and that will cost you $500. Quantity is one. You can change this quantity as well. Let's procure 1,000 shirts. Next step is, which is mandatory, you have to confirm this. So click this confirm. If you need to attach some approval process, there are 2-3 ways. So we will learn this, like how you can attach a workflow, or how you can attach a approval group. So people from that group can approve to the purchase order. So right now we haven't configured anything, so it will let me to confirm and proceed further. So the status is auto approved. So another important thing, if you're preparing for your exam, so what are the different statuses of your purchase order? What are your different statuses in sales order? And when one status is being changed to another. So that's also important to notice. So here you see, like it's an open order and it's in approved status. So you have to keep in your mind, like the PO or the SO is in which status. I think it's 8 o'clock. So I just want to show, like I will be able to confirm it, but I will not be able to receive it, because in the account payable parameters I set Like when I'm receiving it, I want to post this in my ledgers, but I haven't set up the accounts for the ledgers. So this will be posted to which account? In my inventory or in my accrual or in my payable. So I haven't set that up. So where we have to set up that's very important. I plan to complete it today, but because of the slowness of the system, we were not able to proceed as we expected. So we continue tomorrow, the same time. Let wait for its confirmation, and then I just want to show like I will not be able to receive it. System start giving you the errors. So how we remove those errors one by one, so you have the clarity. So if I do all the configuration beforehand, you will not be able to understand what's a mandatory setting and what you did just for the sake of doing. But once the system start giving you errors, so means those settings are important. So we will be doing the bare minimum setting, so we have a clarity. So what's required? So that's my objective. And the other thing is we want to know how the system is helping us to move forward. So the operation is completed. Okay. So go to receive. So let's create a receipt list first, which is not mandatory. It's just give you a receipt so you can have it. And when goods are received at your place, you can cross check it. So just for the record purposes, let's create it, and you can print it and you can give this to your employee. So let's see that how that looks like. And then we will do the real thing, like which is the product receipt, and we set that up. So it's saying like so overview. Here you can see the lines. It's having just one line. So it's a one quantity. This is the purchase order. This is the item number. This is the description of the item. It's showing the amount as well. So you just click OK. And you can print it as well. We're not printing it. You can also have the vendor expiry date. Just give me two, 3 more minutes. Then we will close this session and then we will resume tomorrow. I just want to show like where the problems will come. And if you got the opportunity, you try to fix it yourself. So that will give you more clarity when we all together doing tomorrow. Okay, let's create a product receipt. While it's doing, let me show you where you have to assign the accounts. You need to go to the item group from inventory management. Yeah. Here you see, like for the sales order, you have to assign main accounts, and for the purchase order, you have to assign. We haven't assigned any. This item group is being assigned to the item which we procuring, but we haven't completed this configuration. We never assigned any main account to any account type. So you have to do this. So let's go back. Let's say OK, and you will start receiving the error messages. So it's first saying it's you have to assign the product receipt number. Let's say receipt number 1. Okay. So once we receive one error, and I already shown you where you can fix that error, you have to assign the main accounts to the item group in purchase order. So you try to assign the main accounts, do some exploration, and tomorrow we will going to proceed from this point onward. Let the error to come, so we know like not everything is good. Yeah, see, the operation is cancelled. Let's see the error. It's a different error, so we will explore this next time. This is not something we expect, but this is something with the cost input amount. So you have to go to the manage. Go to product information management, go to your release products. Just invest 1-2 more minutes. So we have some meaningful error where you can proceed further. It was saying like you have to assign some, it was saying like you have to assign some inventory cost amount. So let's do that. Go to product, manage cost, go to edit. So let's assign, let's say 450. Save it. Go back. Try to reset it now. Okay, assign the product receipt number. Let's say PR1. Okay. So I'm expecting the system should give error related to some main accounts, which we need to configure in the item group. So let's see, because this is the shared system and a lot of people doing the development and testing on this. So it might give some weird or different errors. So let's see this error. So it's the same error it's coming. So we will explore it next time and move forward. So thank you very much for your patience. I will try to get some good system. So we will continue tomorrow. Thank you very much. I'm ending the meeting.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.